You'll see videos and hear reports about the rainfall and the weather here in Portugal. But unfortunately, the Iberian Peninsula has been hit recently by 3 major storms, and they were very powerful ones. Lots and lots of rain and extreme high winds. So Portugal and Spain have suffered greatly for that. 5 lives were taken within these storms in Portugal, and a part of Spain has been reported that it had all its rainfall for a year in 24 hours. That's a huge amount of rain, and it caused immense problems. But I want to show you the reality of what all this rain is like. Now, how long has it actually been raining? Well, Bill from the UK came out to Portugal to spend 2 weeks here, living in my house, to see what winter was like in Portugal. And it was raining when he arrived. It was actually raining before he arrived, but not to the extent it is now. He spent 2 weeks, and we went round looking at various places, and it was just constant rain. And we managed to get a few periods of dry weather. After that, it just continued and non-stop, to the point where Lauren from the United States was supposed to come out here on the 2nd of February, but we cancelled that, we postponed it, because all the time that she would have been here, it was going to rain permanently. And that would have been not uncomfortable, I think nigh on impossible, for us to go and look at areas that she wanted to live and the properties that she was interested in buying. It was going to be nigh on impossible. So that's the situation we've got here in Portugal, and it does rain for long periods. So how long has it been raining now? Well, it's about 8 weeks where it's been constant. But what I want to show you is the actual reality of all this rain. This barn area is where I winterize all the things that I need to keep under cover throughout that period. And as you can see, it's absolutely full. There's nothing wrong with the roof. It's a brand new roof. So there's no water leaking in. A very large barn area. Everything is under cover. But take a look at this. We have got the floor absolutely soaking wet right to the back. All of it is. And in fact, everything in this barn is completely wet. That's not driving rain coming in, that is pure damp and humidity, and it does make absolutely everything wet. My lovely brand new motorbike and the electric bike over there are well and truly undercover. If you look at the frame on this push bike, and again it's undercover, it is completely wet. The seat on the motorbike is wet, just like the mudguard. They're both wet, but they're undercover. Another one of the realities that you get here in Portugal with all this bad weather, particularly with thunderstorms and obviously the big storms that we've had recently, is power cuts like this. And it happens very regular in the countryside, but not so much in the cities. Never ever have I known in the 8 years I've been here for the water to be flooding my gate area. This is absolutely unheard of. Look at that lot. Gallons of it. Absolutely flooding the area. The damp and humidity is not limited to just outside. In my wardrobe here, if I don't have a dehumidifier running 24/7, my clothes will get damp. And I don't mean a little bit damp, I mean very damp. So there's a difference between your clothes feeling cold and when you put them on, you realise actually they're very moist with water. That's what happens here in Portugal. So my clothes are nice and dry, but that's because I've got this dehumidifier running 24/7. Another reality is that your washing will start piling up. You've got no chance of it drying out in this weather, so make sure you've got plenty of bedding and clothing. The humidity outside is 95%. In the garage, it's 65%. The humidity does go on for a long time because you get very long periods of all this damp weather. In the description below, there are two videos. One showing how the Portuguese actually deal with it, and two, the second video, how you can deal with it. And it doesn't matter whether you're in Portugal or whatever country you're in. It's a very good video on some good tips on what to do to combat humidity. Now I'm going to tell you something else that's really different here compared to the UK. Yeah, we've got all this awful weather, but then all of a sudden the rains will stop. The temperature will rise slightly and you'll be thinking to yourself, oh man, am I glad that rain's come to an end. And then all of a sudden somebody throws the switch and it goes from winter to spring. And when I say winter to spring, I don't mean gradually like in the UK. It just literally turns instantly. Temperatures will rise to 21 to 25 degrees from one day to the next, and it stays that way. All of a sudden, spring is on us. And I know what you're thinking, no way does it turn from winter to spring as easy as that. Believe me, it does. I will show you. Keep watching, yeah? You will see the transformation and you'll be amazed. All this weather is not all doom and gloom, don't get me wrong. Is it, Moni? No, you've got your eyes on something special, haven't you? Yeah. Okay, so we've had an awful lot of rain, we've had some awful storms, and the last one, Storm Neil, hit yesterday. But they're the negatives, and there's nothing we can do about them. But it is our responsibility, it is up to us to put the positives in our life. And I've got two positives I want to show you now, and they are both absolutely wicked. I've got myself what I call a small forest. The Portuguese call it by two other names, boça or boca. I don't know which one's the right one, so as far as I'm concerned, it's a small forest. Now, I don't do anything with this forest, apart from spring, summer and autumn, clean it up and keep the shrubs down. And it's law that you've got to do that so that you don't encourage forest fires to spread. So you have a responsibility to keep your land in good order. Now there's a problem here, because while I'm spending a morning going round with my strimmer cutting down the small growth, I'm not flying, or I'm not out on my trials bike tearing up the forest and having a load of fun. So I've decided that I'm going to get some help in looking after my forest. I have employed the services of these two girls, Cabras and Nash, dwarf goats. Two females. They've only just arrived about 3 days ago, and well, aren't they beautiful? Now they haven't got names as yet, so I've got myself two dwarf goats. They haven't got any names, and what I want you to do is help me name them. So they're both females, and what I want is for you to put in the comments below suggested names for them. But while you're making those suggested names, please give me an idea how I'm supposed to pick those names. But I would prefer if it was Portuguese names, because they're Portuguese geese. Geese. Of course they're not geese, you idiot Mac. They're Portuguese goats in Portugal, so they might as well have Portuguese names. Right, why have I gone for dwarf goats? Because I don't want them jumping over my fence, and the big ones might do that. And then I've got to run around the neighbourhood trying to find me goats. Nope, that ain't going to happen. These little girls are just going to be perfect in my forest. Also, they can go around and they kill weeds and shrubs. Goats are not grazers. Grazers are sheep, cows, they eat the grass. These are brazers, and they eat higher up stuff. So, aren't they just beautiful? Yeah, my two goats. I had to go to Maya to pick them up, and I didn't really want to get them when we had the storms, but I've been looking for these goats for a long time, and it's been really difficult to get them. They're in great demand, these Pequenina goats. So once the opportunity came along, I grabbed it and I got them back here. And then I had to make a little home for them. Let me show you that. Mona thinks they're hilarious. They're fun to play with. Chase me, chase me. And they do chase her a little bit, but they've got used to her now, so they don't sort of headbutt her and try and get rid of her as much as they used to anyway. It was during the storms and all the torrential rain that I saw these goats for sale. I phoned the guy up and said, you know, what's the age of them? One is 1.5 years and one is 2 years old. And I said, okay, yeah, I'd like them, but I won't be able to come for a little while. And he said to me, unfortunately, these goats are extremely popular. There's a lot of people interested. You're the first one to phone. If you want them, you can have them, but I need them gone tomorrow. Right, that was the decision made. I had to go and get them in torrential rain, get them in the back of the vehicle, bring them back here, and try and find some way of making a little home for them. And I did, and I think I'm rather proud of the little home I made for them. This is the little home I made for them. It's one of the sections where I used to keep the twigs. I cleared them out. I've got fresh water. I've got a bucket with nice hay in it. And I've got a bowl, big saucepan, it's a saucepan with feed, goat feed. And I get them in here at night time and keep them nice and warm. I've lined it with polystyrene, big polystyrene sheets that are for insulation. And then I've got blankets down here to stop the wind from coming in. So it's quite a nice, comfortable little home. And then obviously there's the looking after the goats, the husbandry side of it. So I looked into that. I went into Tabwa, into a vet shop, and I got 2 syringes of dewormer. And I injected that down their throat, so I've dewormed them. I also got a pair of shears and and I did need to trim their hooves. I looked all of that up on YouTube, how to trim the hooves of goats, and I did a pretty damn good job of that. So my girls are in good health, well looked after, and they are going to go out and look after my forest. Yeah. The other nice thing about having 2 little lovely goats like this is that when the children come on holiday, they'll be able to spend a bit of time with them, petting them and feeding them apple, which is what these 2 like. I've found that one out. They don't like carrots, but they do like apple. So the children will be able to come along and feed them apple, and that'll be fun for them. Look at Mona. Come on, play with me, play with me. What, won't they play with you, darling? Won't they chase you? Oh. I paid €60 a piece for them. Now I saw them advertised for as much as €240 a piece and as cheap as €50, but they were for much older ones. But I got these at €60 and a young age. So I actually think I got quite a good bargain. Besides the fact that my little goats are now about to help me keep the forest in good order, I've got another idea that I've come up with to make use of this forest. I never did anything with it before apart from keep it tidy. Now I'm going to make something really brilliant out of it. Now if you look behind me, you might be able to see bits of red tape floating about. Let me show you exactly why they're there. So I went and bought 2 fantastic quad bikes. And they are fantastic. I'll go into the details of what these are like and why they're so good for the job that I want them to do. But these quad bikes are going to be perfect for the families to enjoy tearing around the forest, having a load of fun. Not just the children, but the adults as well. And I promise you, they are hilarious. Watch this. And you just know that me and my friends are going to be having some serious fun with these. It took me a while to find the right quad bikes for the job, and I got these from a Portuguese company, so I'm really pleased with the results. Okay, these are very powerful, 125cc, so they're capable of doing 55 kilometers per hour, which is okay for adults tearing around on it. But when it comes to the younger ones, yeah, that's where something really comes into play. Two things, let me show you. First of all, the gears. One forward, one backward. And that's it. The second feature that I really like is that with this screw here, I can send it in, lock it in place, and that governs the amount of throttle that can be used. So it's got governors on them. That is brilliant. And the next feature, which is really important for the young ones, for the children, is that when they pull away, as you open up the throttle, they do it nice and gently. Let me demonstrate. So when the holiday makers come and stay in the apartment, Mum and Dad can enjoy having some fun on these round the forest, as well as their children. And I think that is a win-win situation. Right, time to get these put away. We've got some bad weather coming again tomorrow. But there's two very beautiful and positive things that I've brought into my life amongst all this horrible weather. The goats and the trikes. Yeah, man, how about that? And there's loads more to come. Keep watching. Got any questions, anything you want to know? Leave it in the comments below. And as always, I will see you in the next one.